It's October 1917. The streets of Petrograd are quiet, but something huge is about to happen. Inside a building, a group of Bolshevik leaders wait anxiously. Suddenly, a messenger rushes in. It has begun. The revolution has started. But where is the mastermind behind it all? Not on the front lines. Not giving a speech. He's sitting in a small apartment, waiting for updates. That man was Vladimir Lenin. Today, we remember him as one of the most important revolutionaries of the 20th century. But why? What made him different from the countless other political leaders who tried, and failed, to change history? Lenin's story begins with a personal tragedy. In 1887, when he was just 17, his older brother, Alexander, was executed for plotting to assassinate the Russian Tsar. That moment changed everything. Until then, Lenin was just a bright law student. But after his brother's execution, he became obsessed with overthrowing the entire system. At the time, Russia was a country of extremes. The rich lived in lavish palaces, while peasants and workers struggled to survive. Lenin believed that capitalism had to go, and that Marxism was the answer. But fighting an empire wasn't easy. In 1895, he was arrested and exiled to Siberia for 3 years. When he was released, he left Russia and spent 17 years in exile, moving between Switzerland, Germany, and England. By 1917, Russia was already in chaos. The Tsar had been overthrown, but the new government wanted to keep fighting in World War I. Lenin saw his opportunity. That's when one of history's strangest political deals happened. Germany secretly helped Lenin return to Russia. Why? Because the Germans knew that if Lenin took power, he'd pull Russia out of the war. So they put him on a sealed train and sent him back home. Just a few months later, Lenin led the Bolshevik Revolution. By October 1917, his forces had taken control, and for the first time in history, a communist government was in power. Lenin built the world's first socialist state. But his methods were brutal. He shut down opposition newspapers, arrested political enemies, and ruled with an iron fist. To his supporters, he was a hero who fought for the poor. To his critics, he was a dictator who crushed dissent. Like many revolutionary leaders, Lenin was loved and hated in equal measure. But one thing is certain, he changed history forever. Lenin died in 1924, at the age of 53. He was replaced by Joseph Stalin, who took the Soviet Union in a very different, and much darker, direction. But without Lenin, there would be no Soviet Union. His ideas shaped global politics for decades, inspiring revolutions, uprisings, and political movements around the world. So, why is Lenin so famous? Because he didn't just start a revolution, he changed the entire course of the 20th century.